Soccer Club Colour Party.
You're going live today.
Oh God, we're on! Good evening, good folks at home. It's a Thursday night. We're in Castledale, Sweden. We're coming up to you live with the lounge room, the locker room, the lunch bag, whatever you want to call it. But it's myself, Greg Blake, or what's left of me after a harrowing week. But it is an Olympic week, so there's every reason to be excited. The Olympic Games starting this weekend.
I've got the
beside me,
fever.
I didn't introduce you yet, John, but thank you. And it's really interesting. You've got what? A fiery ring fever.
No, fiery ring.
Oh, okay. I thought you'd been out eating.
Jeff Hugels,
John Foddy and Doug Hodgson, DH and the JFOT.
Good to see you, Mr. Blake. Good to see you, Johnny. Good to see you guys.
And it's with a minimum of preparation that we come into the show. But John, you pointed out to me before we came on air tonight, and it's kind of a nice, it's got a nice ring to it. Since we've been recording at Castledale, Sweetie, and he's behind the camera. Go, Sweetie. We love your work. Absolutely. Put your pants back on.
Cheers, day, Sweetie.
We absolutely are undefeated. So
I think Sweetie's doing the nude Olympics
tonight. Not an event I'll be watching.
I'll give you a tip.
But look, that's really good because we had the draw last weekend against Southern Stars, and what a sensational game that was. If you weren't there, you were somewhere else, and if you were somewhere else, you missed something sensational. It was a 2-2 draw. We'll talk about that later on. And of course, in the State Cup this week,
Tuesday night, yes.
Tuesday night, a really, really important victory for the Heidelberg United. Alexander.
Knocked off the top.
Alexander.
And I've got to say, it was just about a near full strength Danny young side, although they were missing regular keeper Stu Webster, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, it was Webby.
He didn't play.
No.
But anyhow, they had virtually, we were told by CT that they had virtually the full squad in there. So
On the way home tonight, guys, I'm going to ring CT and find out what excuses he may or may not have. But at the end of the day, we've got a result. We're moving into the next category, or the next bits and pieces they call it.
We'll talk about the setup of the cup because, quite frankly, it's stupid and perplexing.
And
it's very consistent with the
rest of it.
Yeah. The locker room sponsors, as always, you really do. And let's be abundantly clear that the following groups and people have been incredibly supportive of both the locker room and the live broadcasts from the Olympic Village this season. During the 2012 Victorian Premier League season, we broadcast, of course, the big 2-2 draw at the weekend. We're back there for the home game in a couple of weeks, but we thank them very, very much. Josie out at the ANZ Bank in Northland. She's the manager.
She's been a rock, hasn't she?
She's been fantastic.
She was there again on the weekend to watch us on the ground. She's a Josie, if you're ever watching and listening, you're a darling sweetheart, and we appreciate all your work at ANZ. Support from the club.
And
thank you.
Got to say, the chairman Johnny Dimson said we got our first dividend from the sponsorship this week from the ANZ.
For those of you who don't know what dividends is, that means the club got some money. So that's been fantastic. We've got to give them all the support we can. Get your debit cards.
Get your debit cards from ANZ Bank Northland. Joe de Blasi, of course, who is related very much to Josie, of course, in a very appropriate way.
How was he, Blake? Through marriage.
Through marriage.
How was he? He was
fantastic.
He was good.
Now, Joe's an ex-referee, and if you didn't see the live broadcast on Sunday, Joe sat in doing special comments. He won the opportunity to do that in a raffle, and quite frankly, he was all class, and thank you very much to Joe. Canisi Live, of course, fantastic. Boost Juice, the two franchises we're most
Doncaster and Frankston, love you. I'm in Doncaster at the moment, guys, so get there before 2 o'clock and you'll see my ugly mud, and if you don't, come after 2 and get a drink.
And of course, Billy.
Oh, Billy P.
Billy P. The plastic bag king, the plastic bag queen, and the plastic bag reigning monarch. Prime plastic bags. Be abundantly clear, if you're in need of a plastic bag, and aren't we all at various times, Billy P's the man to see. Chimmy's, the Froster Group, and of course Black Swan Dips. So we thank our sponsors most sincerely. What do we do? Let's quickly just talk about the Olympic Games. They commence on Saturday, Dougie. You're clearly in my boat. I haven't really had much time to
Jeff Hugels undies in the corner.
But what are we? We've got Jeff Hugels undies in the corner of the room. It's been pointed out. If you've never been to Sweetie's place, I don't know if I mentioned.
What's he coming up with this time?
Oh,
this
just
now, come on.
honestly.
Johnny, what was that?
No,
I don't know what to
just
say.
let it go.
Undies are in the
You'll
corner
have to watch the
anyway.
episode
I'm
on.
going to have to watch it now. I know what he said. I clearly blanked out.
You sicken me on every
It'll
level.
be
So you took over from me.
Oh,
we'll
I know.
have
I've
to-
gone up in the stand. I've
we'll have
gone up in the world.
do the old blankety blanks. We'll cut that out.
Honestly, what I'm going to do, what we should do is just sit here and watch JFOT drown in his own words. Go for it, honestly.
Come on.
You got anything? You done?
I'm not
You
speaking.
done?
Olympic Games.
Good.
Leave up.
Olympic Games, just quickly, guys, because I know it's curious, isn't it, that every 4 years that a lot of the sports that we don't pay any due diligence to, and we start getting, capture the spirit. And it's fantastic stuff. The Olympics in London. Just quickly, guys.
Today though, listen, I don't know who, but I seen it, I hopped on my computer, turned it on, and I get MSM or MSN, whatever it is, and Aussie broke the record. I don't know who it was, have you heard on the radio? Some Australian anyway, they won gold, and they broke a record, world record, so if you do know, ring us, let us know what it is.
He won gold
She did.
in an Olympics that hasn't started yet.
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
The pre-Olympics.
There you go.
I
kept a straight face doing that, did you notice?
I think in the last couple of moments, good folks at home who've watched the lounge room, that we've proven beyond any shadow of a doubt, unequivocally, that I'm working alongside two mental cases.
Now I know, Blakey, why I couldn't figure out what it was in.
Which is exactly like working
What's
at
our job?
SBS television.
We're here to make
Enough
it
same
look
production values.
So
We're here to make it look good.
So realistically, Olympics is coming. It's in London.
I'm curious to know what you guys are looking forward to most about the
Oh, the
Olympic
trap
Games.
shooting.
Hey, she's not a bad sort.
Who?
I saw her in the Zoom magazine.
What's her name? Come back, Mr. Blake.
Mrs.
Come back,
Mark.
Mr. Blake.
Lauren Mark.
Oh, let's get on to the. I'm just
Okay,
not,
we forget about the Olympics, guys.
We
We're just
are.
going to roll with.
I am curious though, just very quickly.
Yeah,
just
we're
very quickly.
shooting the
Olymp-
granola here,
The
it looks
Olympic
like,
soccer tournament. Pete, this is just like sitting in someone's lounge room with a couple of stoners, honestly. We want to get on to matters, Alexandros. Let's give it a pump.
Alexandros!
Still got the scarf on. I was really pleased with the effort of the weekend. But I just quickly, the Olympic football tournament, I reckon it's bogus. I've got no time for it. Under 21, under 23s plus and 4 overage players. What's the point?
It's development.
Gets bums on
let's go back. It actually, in under 21s, you actually should hope the Ollie Roos, you're hoping that they should be coming into the first team. But unfortunately, with Australia, we haven't got the prodigies to push into the first team at the moment because we've had some, let's be fair, the last 10, 15 years we've had some great athletes, the Harry Kills, the Swartzes, etc., that are still around.
Timmy Gale.
So the younger boys really haven't had an opportunity. So I'll tell you what it is, it's a place for the under 21s to put themselves on show what they've got, develop,
So why the overage players? What's the point?
to help the younger ones develop where they are struggling.
It's a bogus
What it
tournament.
is, okay, under 21s, what they're trying to basically say is, we've got under 21s, as we know, the spine of a football team is where your strength is, and I wouldn't surprise me if the spine of the football team is over 21s. So what they're trying to do is the younger ones, they're bringing the older boys in to help develop and make them a better players.
I can see pussy.
It's a cat. So, but I can understand what it is. Is it a waste of time? Sean Murphy, Ollie Roos,
I'm like that.
Barcelona, Sean Murphy, my mate, the old mate Neil Warnock. Sean Murphy went from Heidelberg, Australia, Knox County. And that was the way he went in. And that came from the under 21 Ollie Roos. So you are on a big stage. It is a process that hopefully some of these boys will get picked up.
Get rid of the 4 overage players and you might get...
So what you're saying is you don't like you don't like the process, you don't like the
Dougie,
It's an
either-
impure problem.
I'd either do it as under 23s or whatever it is.
Yep.
Lock, stock and
Under
barrel.
25.
Well, it's like saying I'm half pregnant.
What they're trying to do is, what they might be saying is they might not have a full 11 players of great under 21s for the show.
Okay,
But I
all right, just fine.
Wasn't the Olympic Games about competing?
Let's be
Absolutely.
fair, bums on seats.
So-
JP done at the start.
Final question. Then in regards to this, should the basketball tournament be rearranged to have under 23, but America can have LeBron James? It makes no sense. It just makes no
I'm with that one. It puts bums on seats, basically.
Okay, let's talk about Heidelberg United Alexander now.
Alexandros.
The 2-2 draw against Southern Stars.
What a
What a
game.
fantastic game.
What a game. That was a
Oh,
great
oh,
game.
Great calling too,
We done
Doug.
all right, didn't we, Mr. Blake? We done very. You know what though? if it was in the middle of the season, which I know it is, but under the circumstances, not sitting down the barrel, you would walk away and go, great result, good game, plenty of passion, etc., etc. But it's because we're sitting where we are, unfortunately, we're all going, there was a point.
Yeah.
You know, we needed three. But it was undefeated, which is great. It's a positive. But the game itself, spectators, supporters, if you were watching, fantastic. If you weren't, you missed out on that cracker.
Yeah, we got the early penalty and then Sarki's tucked that away. Then you had Stefano from Heidelberg getting sent off.
Which we're still trying to figure out, and this is, I'm going on record to stipulate this, guys. Spoke to the man who got brought down. Very harsh decision and very unlucky penalty. He said, what for? It was a mix of bodies. They were asking, was it outside the box? At the end of the day, we seen a clash, a challenge, and unfortunately, at this particular time,
it was a double
he's got
whammy.
it right or wrong, but he's given a penalty where everyone else said it wasn't a penalty.
Well, it was a double whammy because you got the player sent off, so you're a man down,
Yep.
and you conceded the penalty.
And it was a cheap penalty, which is the worst part about it. You might as well just take him out!
Okay, so look, synonymous with the season, JFOT, what possibly could go wrong did go wrong.
We said that,
sending off that sort of anticlimactic finish, and we won't labour on. I thought again, wonderful result, a great game.
Oh, they
Fantastic game.
look, playing a man down with about 65, 70 minutes to go, going down 2-1, looking down the barrel, really, the team could have just packed it in and said, right, that's it. But
Showed a lot of character. Showed a lot of character, a lot of initiative. Oh, if anyone's been having a crack at these guys, they've put the sleeves up and they've gone another go.
Yeah, they look. No one can fault the endeavour. It's just unfortunately just
very, very well.
things didn't go the way the team.
No, I'll let you know. Look, it is the locker room on a Thursday night at Sweetie's place. Thanks to Sweetie, JFOT, DH, it's Greg Blake on deck. ANZ Bank Northland, Kinesi Live, Boosters, Donny and Frankston. Prime Plastic Bag, Chimneys, Froster Group, Black Swan Dips, and I think we've got Petters in Heidelberg Heights as well.
Yeah, it's all the way over.
We thank them all for their support. We talked about the game last weekend, the 2-2 live telecast, of course, on the ePad or the iPod or the iFrog, the iNet, the Ethernet, the fishing net, but the computer. That's probably sums it up nicely. So let's, while we're doing that, JFOT, have a look through all the other results from round 15. It was, of course, our big game, Heidelberg United Alexander 2, Southern Stars 2.
Friday night was Bentley Greens 1, drew with Hume City 1. Also on the Friday night, Oakley 1, drew with Green Gully 1. The third game on the Friday saw South Melbourne 1 go down to Richmond 3, and that was a game full of controversy.
Have we found out any more about that, Johnny?
A lot of controversy,
yes.
2 sending offs. South Melbourne coach getting sent off, a broken jaw to a Richmond player, and just all sorts of chaos happened down there. Trent Rickson from South Melbourne copped automatic plus 11 games, if you don't mind.
Already?
But that will go to the tribunal next week. But
are there likely to be any repercussions in terms of fines or docking of points?
No.
How did you get plus 11?
Well, that's on the FFE website. They got an automatic game for the red card.
Plus 11.
Plus well done to the FFE for updating their website within the month.
That's been automatically sent to the tribunal, so that 11 may or may not stand.
Okay, but like we're saying, we're wondering if, keep tuned, when we find out we'll let you know for points. We're trying to figure out, is there any deduction?
I don't know, I highly doubt it, but there may be further repercussions.
Okay, wrapping up round 20, round 15.
Saturday we saw Northcote City 3 defeat Melbourne Knights 2.
Good result by the Northcote.
Yeah, good result for Northcote. And then Dandenong back to winning ways as we predicted last week, defeating the Moreland Zebras 4-1.
Making Heidelberg's Cup win 3-2 all the more meritorious, absolutely.
And of course the Heidelberg game was 2-2 with Southern Stars.
So Dougie, take us through what we've got on the ladder at this point.
Let me flick over to my notes. Dandy Thunder sitting at 15 games all played, 33. Oakley second at 27. Green Gully sitting there at 26. Northcote City 25. And Bentley Greens in the top 5 at 23. Number 6, look at the way Richmond's jumped from, we were talking about them last week, just sniffing in front of there, but they've gone into the 6th spot on 21 points. Hume at 21 and Melbourne Knights at 21. So you've got a 3 roll there, 3 boys sitting there on the 6th position. Southern Stars sitting on 20.
And can we just make Southern Stars at 20 the cut-off point? They are the teams the 9 teams that Alexander cannot catch. It's just inconceivable. We'll talk about that.
South is sitting there on 18. We got a bad result last week. Trent Rickson being a good centre forward, scores a fair few goals, will be missed at South, especially if it's 1 automatic and plus 11. Sitting on 18, and obviously the Zebras sitting on 11, and unfortunately Lexa and Duff sitting on the number 6 points down the bottom.
Okay, so with 7 games to play.
21 points grabbed when I went to school, Blakey.
JFOT, are you still labouring under the misconception and illusion that Alexander can extricate itself from the... and more to the point, I will ask a question too. Have you had a chance to engage with the club and George Bleep and Katsakis about that predicament that faces them now?
Well, we actually
and bleep you, Georgie.
We had George at Dougie's pre-match function,
which I believe is fantastic.
We've got to thank Dougie for hosting us there. But George still believes, while it's possible, they're trying to win every possible game, and that includes the cup matches and league matches. So, George,
there's no other way you want to do it, though,
you have to believe, while it's mathematically possible, of course you've got to instill the...
If not, why would you bother turning up?
Exactly. I think it's getting, as I've written on my notes there, survival's looking more and more unlikely as each week.
Not going to happen, boys. Look, I love Heidelberg United, Alexander, and I'm going to say one thing. I'm going to get shouted out right now. Oh, Alexandros! But they're stuffed. That's the season over. It was 4 weeks ago.
This year.
And
I don't wish it. I'm just stating the obvious.
Look, we've got to be realistic that it's extremely...
Oh, look, very nice.
It's 95%, and yeah, again, we go into a fixture this week where it's a must-win. But I'll go through the fixtures for...
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll go through the fixtures because I love the way you guys work. What I want to do is, Dougie, I'll get your tip, and JFOT, I'll get you to tell me how we want the games to fall to ultimately give us that thread of hope, that lifeline, that tiny little glimmer on the horizon. So we'll start off, of course, on Friday night at Epping Stadium, Hume City hosting
We're going to go
Alexandra.
You know what?
I reckon they might do it.
I reckon they will. Point. I reckon they'll get a point or they'll win. We need a win, so I'm going to go for the win, guys.
We do tend to play well at Epping Stadium.
So I'm going for a win, guys. Win this week for the Burgers.
Okay, Richmond host Oakley on Friday at Kevin Bartlett Reserve, Dougie.
It's going to be a draw.
Draw? What do we need?
I'm impressed with Richmond. I think they've really come good. A couple of good signings. I reckon they might...
tweak them.
So is that good for us or bad for us?
Well, look, the draw probably suits us. But
okay. Yeah, we need... Because you're insightful. You're a smart, intelligent, thoughtful, you're actually none of the above.
You can tell me that.
He's
lying.
I am. You're Dandenong Thunder host Northcote City, 7 o'clock Saturday at George Andrews.
I'm going for a draw. I'm going for a draw on this one. I think Dandy...
I reckon Dandy will bounce back.
Okay,
I think
so
they will
too. What do we need? Doesn't matter?
Both in the top 5, so really doesn't affect us right away.
Southern Stars host... It's not even a real team, Southern Stars, for God's sake.
Sky, isn't they?
Yeah, what areas does it represent?
That's true.
Is it like some sort of alien kind of...
It's the Stars.
What the hell?
It should be black and white.
They're the team for the Olympic year. Southern Stars.
Stupidest thing I've ever heard. Southern Stars host South Melbourne at Kingston Heath on Saturday.
They will win. Southern Stars will beat South Melbourne.
Now, what do we need?
A draw probably suits us better, but yeah.
Okay.
Another nil points like last.
We want a draw.
A draw probably suits us.
Self-evident, really. Zebs against Green Gully at Epping Stadium on Sunday, Dougie. What's going to happen there?
Green Gully's going to pound the Moreland Zebras, unfortunately, but there's going to be a win there.
A lot of turmoil down at the Moreland Zebras.
And what do we need?
Again, Sweetie.
Sweetie,
turmoil down at the Moreland Zebras. So I think the Green Gully will do the Heidelberg.
Do us a favour? Yep. Okay. And finally, the Melbourne Knights out at Knight Stadium hosting Bentley Greens.
Bentley Greens is going to come back and beat them. Bentley Greens is going to come back. They're going to be in a touch, I reckon Bentley Greens will beat Melbourne Knights this weekend.
And what do we need, Joe?
I tend to agree with Dougie because Melbourne Knights are still the only team that hasn't drawn a game this season. So it'll be a result either way.
Okay, so that's the round 16 Victorian Premier League fixtures. We did skirt across the Cup game, JFOT. Now that's the statewide Cup, which, quite frankly, if you were listening to us from the FFV, what sort of ponytailed lunatic sat back and devised this system whereby the last 6 teams, instead of being what?
Can I explain the logic? Logic in
there is no logic.
The logic was because they didn't have Melbourne Heart and Melbourne Victory in the competition. The FFA...
They were never going to be in the competition.
The FFA vetoed that as a thing because they want to have their own FFA Cup. Because there was 2 less teams in the comp, they end up now, instead of being now currently 8 teams, which would have made quarterfinals, they have now 6 teams left, so they put them in 2 groups of 3, each plays each other once.
Fabulous.
The top 2 go through. Now, in having said that, each team playing each other once, but there must be a result, so a draw is not allowable. So if it's a draw at the end of full time, they play extra time and then they go to penalties. Every game must be a result. So that's the other thing that really baffles me.
So it's not really a statewide knockout cup.
It's
to the ponytailed nom that came up with devised this particularly interesting finish to a cup competition. Next time, be like my elbow and have a bloody point. This is ridiculous. Anyway, I'm sorry. It's bizarre.
I was there on Tuesday at the Olympic Village.
And I bet you it was a terrific night.
It was actually a very enjoyable game. 2 sides. I mean, Daniel and Thunder, obvious why they're on top of the league. Played some really good football. But the young Burger side excelled themselves. Rode their luck a little bit early on. But then Matthew Tanchevsky, in about 20 minutes, scored a cracking goal from just outside the box. 5 minutes later, the Burgers were awarded a penalty for a clumsy challenge by one of the Danny defenders. So we were 2 up with 25 minutes on the clock, and then conceded 2 soft goals.
So back to 2-all.
2-all at half time.
You let them in.
Let them in. Katsakis did one of his FM bleeping pep talks at half time and really
So at half time the score was
2-2. And then
what the bleeping thinking, said Georgie.
What's going on?
There was a few choice words.
What's going on in your bleeping head?
Yeah, Malakas.
Which shows me that.
What does that mean, by the way?
No idea.
You're pulling the leg.
Okay, because I don't know.
And so anyhow, the second half came out. Daniel on again attacked, but Chris May was stellar in goals, and Johnny Lazaridis and Ollie Rowland. And Ollie Rowland has become the talisman because he's not yet played in a losing side for the Burgers yet.
Good to see him back on the page as
And
well.
they were just supreme in defence, and then the new recruit Zane Sol, the key Zane boy hit a beautiful left foot shot from outside the box and gave us the win, and they hung on despite the late pressure. So, well, good bit to
It's interesting you mentioned Lazar too, who he was terrific also in that game last week.
Look, the boys had a lot of injury problems, as we know, in the last 2 seasons, but he just bleeds yellow and black, that kid, and it's so good to have him back in the team.
No,
keep up the work, Lazar.
And I've got to add, guys, for those of you, the club is looking to organise a bus for the game against Cobram Victory, which will be...
I'm telling you now, here's the situation to the Heidelberg United.
Because we all finish work at 2 o'clock in the afternoon,
okay.
Of course we do.
Now the cup fixture, and the date for that is...
It will be, I've been told provisionally, it's Wednesday the 8th of August.
Wednesday the 8th of August.
7:30 in Shepparton.
Again, some more genius scheduling here. So we are playing Cobram United, Cobram Victory. We're playing Cobram Victory in Shepparton, and as JFOT said, they're trying to arrange a bus. Now here's the scenario. When Alexander takes the field in where is it, Shepparton, on that particular evening, what they want to hear is
Alexandros!
And unless you get on the gosh darn bus, what they're going to hear is moo. Okay? So we need
well, Zane Sol might say at home there.
Can I ask you some of those,
yeah, you can.
Well, how far Shepparton?
It's about a 2-hour drive.
Yeah. So we go to 7:30, 6:30, 5:30. Okay, so you got 2 hours. You need to be there an hour before. Obviously warm up, get organised.
Have a few drinks.
So we're down at 4:30.
Who finishes a couple of bottles on the bus, stop for a souvlaki on the way.
But you've got to leave here at 4 o'clock. Limited, mate. How do people get out of work?
No,
excuse me, Gaffer. I just need the afternoon off. We're going to play soccer. Hello?
Yeah, no, it's
Where's
true.
the logic? You know the bloke in the ponytail.
You got to remember, mate, when you're from Cobram, you go to bed early because you got to get out and milk the bloody cows next bloody morning, don't you? Seriously. We country folk ain't staying up for you, bastards. So a great piece of...
very cliche there.
So everybody's done well again. Great to see you thinking.
We can charge a flight like Essendon did.
So there you go. Anyway, so
he's doing gags again.
So yeah,
He must feel at home.
I'm hoping at some point there'll be an element of humour in one of them, and that'll get us all going. Now, I just want to quickly know, what do we need in terms of a result when we play Cobram up in shit?
Well,
Moo!
As I said, the game's got to be played to a result. So if the boys win, they top the group of 3,
and
we'll go into the semis.
Okay,
and
now how many teams in the semis? Is that enough?
4.
Oh, good.
So having finished on top of our group,
so ponytail genius, well done. You've got the semis right.
So it'll take 3 games to knock out 1 team.
Okay. No, that's a great idea.
Anyhow.
Okay, so what else is it? Dougie, what's
So I was going to say,
can I say
in relation to that game,
the boys there, though, we've got to probably say the youngsters that played last week, the 3-2 win, didn't see it, unfortunately, guys, but well done to the boys that stepped up. They needed to be stepped up.
7 players in this team, in the squad, from the 21s, and all those boys have been rewarded with a night of training tonight, and we'll be pushing for senior selection.
And that's fantastic. So what we're saying here, guys, there is a little bit of youth coming through and the under 21. So you guys that are out there, under 21s, keep up that work, keep banging on that door, because you proved that you stepped up to be counted on Wednesday, Tuesday night. And mate, got a result. So well done, guys. Congratulations.
And so don't forget, of course, the upcoming fixture then for Heidelberg United is this Friday at Epping Stadium, 8:30 kickoff.
Nice pitch too, mate.
Yeah, look, I believe it is. It's been a long time since I've been up that way. Hume City hosting Heidelberg United Alexander in a... you talk about cliches.
Yeah, another
they're all must win. They're all must win. We need to finish the season with a 6-game winning roll or a 7-game winning roll. Now, any other, before we go to Dougie's top, which is a lovely kind of lemony pale blue kind of outfit there.
Chelsea.
No, I'm aware of that, Doug, but tell us the story later after we do the big build-up.
I was going to say...
any news?
Well, the news was there's another new signing this week that I think will be registered a Belgian.
He didn't play on. He didn't get to play on Tuesday. Then
didn't get to play on Tuesday, but I believe should be right this week.
Right back.
I want to ask you guys, what did you think of Devon's performance?
We had Bone. I had Bone over Bone. Bone gave me Bone. There was Bone abundance in abundance.
Devon Bone, I have to admit.
So the squad, I mean, with the new additions, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. The question is, of course,
where's the
as
tunnel?
I kept saying,
yeah, and is that light a train coming in the other direction?
The season has been a train wreck, hasn't it?
George Bleepman Gonzaga. Look, boys, there's a bleeping light at the end of the tunnel. Oh, Jesus.
Out, quick!
Including you, Sash. Stop waving your freaking arms around.
Having said that, Sash played very well on Tuesday night.
Oh, I'm really pleased. So he's popped in his one productive game.
And he scored as well. Good scored goals.
Well, he's doing better than I am. Okay.
With a fistful of dollars.
We've got to thank our sponsors again, because
I think we should. Why don't we do it in reverse order? Pedals Heidelberg Heights.
Heidelberg Heights. Black Swan Dips. Froster Group.
Chimmies.
He made Billy.
Billy T. Applied
Prime Plastic Bags. Y'all represent.
Boost Juice.
Doncaster and Frankston.
Kinnissy Live.
Wonderful. ANZ Bank Northland. Thanks, Josie, for your support.
Fantastic.
And
we're going to thank Dougie for his wonderful function last Sunday pre-match. Some great stories there, Dougie.
I've got the scent of fabulous just for a moment.
Well, you know what? It was enjoyable. It was good. You know, it was a nice little atmosphere in there. You could see the game. The windows were nice and clean. So no, there was no pop. There was no pop that dropped anywhere. It was good. The food was nice.
Food was nice.
Drinks were there. People were there. So
any
nice.
function without poop is a winner for me.
And
thank you guys for coming.
And well done to Joe again. We must thank Joe for his comments during the game.
I was worried about I'd be sitting there.
And good folks at home, have a look at this. We've absolutely rock solid got Doug Hodgson on board now. He's an
now
member of Heidelberg United. Once you see this, I hope this inspires you. It better inspire you to become a member, because the club needs you. So Dougie's done the right thing. He'll be at the AGM. He'll be asking questions. He'll want to know what's going on.
He'll be voting the next coach out.
So,
me and Blakey in. JFOT coming too. 3 musketeers. We're going to do the locker room from inside.
We've got to get everyone on the iNet. Download your membership application form.
Get in there, guys,
become a
support.
member.
And this is not just for now, this is for next year, mate. Club needs support, we need people like
Whenever
you
the
guys
club
listening.
needed them, we need them now.
Now, before we go out for that, we've got Dougie's shirt to come. It's been wonderful to work with you again, JFOT, in this Olympic week, so I'm feeling imbued with the sense of Olympic awesomeness. So I have no idea where I was going with that, Dougie, before we roll out for the night. And you're just a wonderful guy and a handsome rooster as well. Shirt of the week, quickly.
Chelsea, this is just a little one that says, can you read what it says, Bogey?
To Doug, best wishes, scribble, scribble.
Franco Zola. Franco Zola, little Italian player. Found a little fella, got his original one at home as well. I was just lucky in the meeting for my darling wife, of course. And
what number did he wear, Dougie? Just for
don't know.
25.
He played the piano very well.
Number 25.
He wore Mizuno boots.
Mizuno.
He was sponsored by Mizuno.
You actually knew no one.
No, you know.
Sweeties.
Nah, there's actually, I did meet Zola, actually went down to Chelsea. There's not a great story, it's a simple one, went to Chelsea, watched some training, yuck, yuck, yuck. Zola played me a quick tune, my way, and then that was it. So, no, that's
well
well.
came in. Dougie said, do you know who I am? And with a resounding cheer, they all turned and said no idea.
There's only one
What
person.
did John Douglas say? Who are you, Dougie? I don't know you.
No, his English is quite well.
Or was he working in an Indian restaurant?
Yeah.
Now look,
I have to admit, I'll give him his credit. When he was in England, he always used English language. He tried not his Italian. He was okay.
So he parlava inglese, did he?
But he ended up, he was doing well. He's a lovely man.
I have no idea where we went tonight with this program, but it's been a wonderfully
We're in
invigorating experience.
Did we get a bronze medal for the performance?
We thank Sweetie. Is there something lower than that? We thank Sweetie for...
Platinum. We get a platinum medal.
You have been fantastic. Alexander supporters, stay true blue to the club, okay? Get out, support the club during the games for the remainder of the season, starting on Friday night at Epping Stadium. Get some membership, support our sponsors, be nice to little people and dogs, and
watch the trap shooting.
And watch the trap
Well, we
shooting.
got
It's gonna be
next
fair.
week though, Blakey. We got Hume, Johnny. We got Hume this week, and then who we got after that, mate?
Home match against Melbourne Knights after that.
We'll be there. Me and Blakey. We'll see you next Thursday to make sure that, hey, Blakey.
Locker room, locker room, locker room.
It's the place I go when I've got nowhere else to go.
Honestly, we're trying
As the song
to. Can
goes.
we just have a clean cut? Goodbye.
Good night, gentlemen.